Son, you have been waiting to go on this journey, and you are finally ready. I must inform you, it will be dangerous. You might even get hurt. But remember, it will all be worth the wait.
Hello, and welcome back to the J&T podcast. And, man, it's been a while.
It has been a while. Oh my gosh. Okay. As you know, I'm your host, Talon.
And I'm Jack.
We are the J&T podcast, fellas. I gotta tell you, Jack, hearing that clap, got my heart pumping, bro. It feels so good to just be back in this chair recording a podcast. Fellas, you all know why I've been gone. We'll touch on it briefly, just for a little bit. Laptop broke. Shame. But hey, got a new setup. Look at that. Look, got stuff up there. Got stuff behind me. Got a window. My dog will be running in and out, and she might whine. That's okay. Cool stuff. Like, it feels good to be back. I'm so glad to be back. Jack, if you want to tell us what we are going to be talking about today.
So, as you guys may know, our last video we uploaded before we went dark, it was the FPS multiplayer showdown, ranking Halo, Vanguard, and Battlefield 2042 before they released, and what our predictions were going to be for them. And all that time ago, we planned to have a follow-up video once they were all released. But as a result of the issues we were having, they've now been out for a year, and we thought no better time than could just do 1 year later what they look like now.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be touching on Halo and a bit of Battlefield, and Jack will be touching on COD and a bit of Battlefield. So let's go ahead and get started. Jack, if you want to start us off with COD, let's do this.
Okay, so starting off at our lowest ranking, the one we feel like has done the worst over the past year overall is Call of Duty Vanguard. And like the one word I can say to describe this game is boring. It is boring. It's uninteresting. It's old. Like it just feels old. We've seen so many World War II Call of Duties. And honestly, the game it doesn't feel like a AAA game in a lot of aspects. In fact, when the gameplay you're watching in the background while filming that, I filmed for 30 minutes. It crashed 2 separate times, and let me keep in mind that released a year ago from a AAA studio, and 2 or 3 times is way too many times for a game to crash at that age by that company. It's just not a very well made game.
It's really unfortunate. I didn't play it. I had no interest to play it from the beginning. I knew I would never want to play it. And in our last video, we ranked it at second. And you know what? I am shocked it got second. It shouldn't have. From that, I look back and I think about the trailers, how they were okay. I think about the beta and just the atmosphere around it, and I am just like, we really put that at second. That is nuts to me. That's why we're making this follow-up. But still, when it released fully, I swear I heard nothing about it. It was gone. Just gone. And it I want to say I'm disappointed, but honestly, I knew it would happen. Like, I really did. You know, I didn't expect anything from it. I cannot think about anything redeeming about it. All that I can think about is maybe the sniper scopes. They were pretty good, you know. And it's I don't know. It was just boring, honestly.
And something I did want to touch on was the unfortunate impact this game had on Warzone, which had come out about 1.5 years prior to the release of Vanguard. And it was the third and final, I guess, plug-in, if you want to call it that, for Warzone after Modern Warfare and Cold War. At that point, it just felt exhausting. There were too many guns in the game. You had to, like, if you paid for each one of those 3 games in order to properly level up the guns for your custom loadouts, you're paying $180 to own all the games to properly have the right weapons to play Warzone at that point. Which is,
Absolutely.
for a free to play game, why make it free to play? In order to play it like effectively at all, you've had to spend almost $200 on separate games.
Absolutely. And it sucks. It really does. I played a bit of Warzone over the period, my laptop being broken, and I Warzone honestly holds a special place in my heart. Me, Jack, and my cousin would play it, and we would play Plunder or Blood Money. That is all we would play because it was fun to us, and it holds a special place because of that, because we got closer. And Warzone is I feel like one of the couple of games that pushed us to want to do a podcast and talk about games like Warzone, that gave us that punch, you know. And then I played it over the summer, and I was devastated with the map. I miss Verdansk because Verdansk is special to me. You know, I would totally be okay if the new map, if Verdansk got replaced and the new map was good, but the new map was terrible. It was awful. I I can't explain why it was bad. Jack would do a much better job than me. It was I just it just wasn't good.
Yeah, and like, to touch on like Vanguard's other impact on this, like with it got rid of Verdansk. It added like another 50 weapons to the massive arsenal, making it nearly impossible to play. Just so much more to have to worry about. It, on top of the fact it was already a forgettable and very unfortunate game, it felt like the last nail in the coffin for Call of Duty Warzone.
Absolutely. Oh God, that franchise. I've heard the game's good. I haven't played it still, but I've heard the new game is good, and I'm glad it's good. COD needed just a right slap in the face, quick, you know.
Yeah.
So next up is Battlefield, and Jack is going to his experiences with Battlefield down to mine. So yeah, Jack, Battlefield.
So, replacing Battlefield 2042 at the second spot, basically switching its place with Call of Duty in our last opinion on this. And the reason for that is it felt, in my opinion, it actually felt fun, unlike Vanguard. You like say what you want about the bugs and all the issues the game has. Like, if you have enjoyed any type of Battlefield game, like this is a game where you can just enjoy it. It's not the most polished, it's not the most well made, but it's just enjoyable to play. Like, for example, like the natural disasters, like playing with that, with the parachutes and the wingsuit operator, just like it's an indescribable just amount of fun just to like play with that. Most other multiplayer games don't offer things like that. Like Call of Duty would never do something like anything close to that. It's just it's a different experience, and it's just fun.
Absolutely. I love Battlefield. I don't know. I think I've said it before on this channel, but Battlefield 1 is genuinely my favorite game, probably of all time. It's I can't. It's more of a feeling to me. The gameplay was beautiful. I loved the history behind it. I loved how I feel like I was in a movie when I would play. You'd see a plane crash, and it was just the craziest thing. And Battlefield 2042 may not have captured it completely, but it captured something that still gave me that feeling in a smaller way, I'd say. I loved one of the features that I love, really hope becomes a bigger thing on the go, modifications of your weapons. It just, honestly, it's something I really hope to see in other games just because of how versatile it is. And it didn't feel overpowered either. I felt good with what I was doing. If I would either win or I'd die. I wasn't winning all the time, and I didn't feel guilty about using it. Felt very balanced. I really enjoyed when before I went into a building, I put on a suppressor or take off my scope. I just loved that. That was a rush that I really got. And it was a good game. I'm shocked that we put it as low as we did on our last ranking. You know, I really am, and I'm glad it's at second now. Belongs at second. It really does. Something we failed to realize is how buggy Battlefield games are when they're released. And they made a lot of changes, like with the gameplay that a lot of Battlefield games are known for, you know? And it's a shame, but I didn't mind it, With you would actually have classes like the just blow stuff up, or like a sniper recon sniping, spotting people. And it was they changed that a little bit, where a sniper could also have an RPG, where you could have spot people as like assault, and that's okay. Some people were upset, but I was okay with it. I didn't mind it. Now, people could argue, oh, they're just doing what COD games do, But I didn't feel like that, because Battlefield is different than COD in so many ways that just that did not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that kind of sums up Battlefield. It was very much a good game, and I feel bad for being as critical as I was on it last video. I do have to say.
Yeah, although honestly, it probably would have kept its ranking if we ranked it right after it released. It has improved a lot over the last year, which I'm actually kind of happy we're creating this now, because
absolutely
all the games have had time to grow and improve since our
Unless
initial
you're
reactions to them.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna we're gonna go over Halo. Obviously, Halo's number one. No surprise there, if I have to be honest. Halo was a good game. So when I went to Arizona over spring break, which is funny, that's when my laptop broke. Whatever. I was visiting my cousin at the time, and that is all we played was Halo. Jack, it's funny, you were actually in a party with us, an Xbox playing Halo, right? You were there with us.
Yeah, and that, man, like, hours on end.
Hours.
All we played was Halo. Like, those are some
Nothing
great
else.
memories. Those are some of my best gaming memories, is over that break, sitting and just playing Halo for hours and hours on end.
And it's really funny because playing Halo and getting that best memory thing, it didn't happen that long ago. It actually didn't even a year ago, and it's funny, and I've never had more fun playing a game. Obviously, I burned out, but that's, to be honest, it's because I played it so much. I've gone back and played it a little bit, and it is still fun. I played some of the campaign. Jack hasn't, so I'll also talk about that. But first, I just got to just praise it real quick, because it was fun. It was a good game. It's so funny because Call of Duty and all the companies that make those games have been doing this for years, and Battlefield games have been making Battlefield games for years. And there have been many Halo games, but 343 is still pretty new when it comes to it, And they messed it up the first two times, and they hit I feel like they didn't hit the nail on the head, I should say. It's not the best Halo game. It absolutely is not. It will never be the best Halo game. It's the best 343 game, but it might not be for long, because I truly believe that this is a turning point for Halo and 343. I believe that the gunplay, the story, oh my gosh, the story. It's just a complete overhaul of what we saw in 4 and 5. The campaign was open world, which is a cool idea. Me personally, I'm not a fan of open world. I like story driven, quick, tell me where to go. But that's just my opinion. I'm not going to knock it down, because everybody seemed to love that. Everybody loved the fact that it was open world. So I don't mind it. I'm okay with it being open world, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. I really liked the story of it, of how it's kind of Master Chief back at it. He kind of gives guidance on to the pilot, on like what it means to be a warrior, Then he's still getting over what's her face, Cortana, with the weapon, and it's beautiful, it's poetic, and I truly enjoyed how much time and effort was put into it to make this a good game. It felt like one of the older games, and I was produced by Bungie. I was proud and I was happy to be playing the game.
Yeah, I think overall, this game, it's been the best Halo game in years, and I think it has set some amazing foundation for the possibilities in the future for the next
Absolutely.
Halo games. Like you said,
Absolutely.
Multiplayer campaign, like, if they just, what they have to do is they just have to listen to the complaints from fans, like, see what mistakes they made with this game. If they do what they can to improve all those in the next Halo game, I feel like it has the possibility to be the single best Halo game ever.
Absolutely. I think they could dominate the gaming industry
Agreed.
for a long time. Jack, I think that might sum it up.
No,
Do you have anything more to say, my friend?
I've got nothing else to say.
Fellas, thank you for tuning in on this episode of the J&T podcast. We know it's been a while. My fault, honestly, but we're back, and we plan on staying for a really long time. There's probably going to be an episode on Warzone that we want to do. We really want to do an episode on. There's going to be more episodes on music for those who really enjoy those. And of course, we'll have a link in the description for our Discord server and our Instagram. Be sure to voice your opinion in the comments below. Be nice about it, of course. And we'll see if we can, talk about it in a video. I think that's about it. Jack?
Yeah, just coming back stronger. More episodes, more ambition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Better setup.
There you go.
All right, fellas. Later.